Welcome. Today we have as our guest Felix Teufel. Wait one moment, I have to check one thing before restarting this. No, we're good. So Felix Teufel, he's a sound artist and a sound ecologist with his practices focusing on spatial sound, spatial hearing, and the role of soundscapes in society and the environment. Next to that, he's also the CEO of Not a Number Studios and a founder of the ZIMT, the Center for Immersive Media, Arts, Music, and Technology in Leipzig, in Germany. And today he's with us to present mainly his software, Grapes 3D audio control, of which beta was released on May 24th. Before we hand it over to Felix, I would like to do a really short introduction of OISTAT for the people that are not familiar with it. OISTAT is the international organization for scenographers, theater architects, and technicians, with scenography, of course, in a contemporary context, meaning all sorts of theatrical design, including sound design, which is what we're here for today. OISTAT is a global network of theater makers celebrating design and technology in live performance. One of the main activities of OISTAT, among many, many other things, is World Stage Design, of which a next edition is coming up, as you can see, October 18th until the 25th of 2025 in Sharjah, which is in the United Arab Emirates. If you want to take part in this, there are still some possibilities. There's an exhibition of designs, including sound designs, by both students and professional designers, for which the entry closes on November 14th. And there's also an exhibition of theater architecture, so new buildings realized for performing arts. And the submission period for this one is about to open. If you want to present or perform a sound work live, there's a sound kitchen. The first round of submissions for this has closed by now, but a second round will likely follow in a month or so. One other thing to mention is the OISTAT YouTube channel, which, among many other things, also archives sessions like this. So if you want to watch back any of the webinars that were there up until now, this is the place to go. If you want any further information on OISTAT, on the Sound Design Subcommission, or on Grapes 3D, or on any of the previous topics of the webinars, you can use this link to get in touch. And then, last but not least, there are some sponsors to thank, which are Grapes 3D, Apero Design, Point Source Audio, Clearcom, the Theatrical Sound Designers and Composers Association from the US, the Association of Sound Design and Production from the UK, and the United States Institute for Theater Technology. And then I would like to hand it over to Felix Teufel.
Yeah, hello everybody. Thank you very much for the introduction and the invitation, Jörg. Really appreciate to have the chance to present to you a bit of my work, my background, and then in particular Grapes, the software I developed over the last years. And let me start with some with a little presentation. I want to share my screen, and yeah, so can everybody see the screen right now? Or yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, as Jörg already mentioned, my background is I'm a sound designer and sound artist myself, and I mostly work in the field of field recordings and soundscapes, especially with natural soundscapes. Natural quiet places is one of my main focuses I had in the last years, to capture and kind of preserve natural soundscapes which are kind of endangered and are about to disappear through to or due to noise pollution or other reasons influenced by human. And from this background, I always had a strong fascination with spatial audio and 3D audio technologies and systems. And yeah, I did several performances and lots of exhibitions with different 3D audio technologies. And for me, it was always missing certain features to go with as I wanted to. And so that's how I got into this field of 3D audio. And first in 2019, I founded my studio, Not a Number, studio for 3D audio productions, which has also a strong focus in mixing and mixing audio in the art field, spatially. And in 2020, then I had the chance to found the Center for Immersive Media Art, Music and Technology. What you see here, this is our concert hall with a 360 projection setup. It's not completely 360, it's more or less 320 degrees, I used to say. And there we have also a 3D sound system fixed installed with 32 channels. And yeah, in the venue we do different programs from artist residencies to concert events to exhibitions, and also all kind of mentorings. And yeah, part of the program we curate ourselves, and we are able to invite artists for showcasing or productions. And another part of the program is that we rent out the venue for external productions who are interested in using our structure and our technical infrastructure there. And yeah, so this is the Zimt. Basically, from outside looks like this. It's based in an old industrial yard in Leipzig. And we have this old crane hall here, a former crane hall with a 6 meter ceiling height. And inside it looks like this. Actually, now it's much more technical stuff under the ceiling. This was in the very beginning, this photo. Now there's more light projection and also a heating since 2 years. And yeah, another photo in the concert hall during a show. Another photo of an exhibition scenario. And this was a workshop about Spatcri by Robert Normando. And then we also have like some workshop rooms and seminar rooms there, yeah, to host different formats. Then this year, actually, we started with our Spatial Audio Network Europe project, which is a network project we initiated, and with the aim of bringing different venues and technology developers from the field of 3D audio together to make them to make their venues more compatible. Because for me it was always one thing that, okay, I want to be able to create this content and I want to be able to showcase this content. And especially in the field of music, there's less venues where you can actually present these formats, and then we very often struggled with the issue of compatibility. And to work on this approach, or this is the first project we started this year in this network, to work on a solution. How can we kind of figure out what is the needs and the necessities for the different formats to be compatible, and for the different venues and different speaker layouts to be compatible as well. And for that, we're doing one research and development part in this project, where we elaborate these factors which are important for the compatibility. And we also develop a streaming setup where we want to be able to stream in real time from one venue to another in multi-channel 3D audio, to also reach a wider audience with the concerts and the shows which are played. And here on the slide, you can see the list of all the partners. So there's the Music Innovation Hub in Milan. They have like a production studio for spatial audio. There is the IEM, the University of Music and Performing Arts in Graz, which developed the Ambisonic plugin suite. Then there's a club in Eindhoven, the EFNA. Then there's Echo Factory. This is their production company, which are doing productions in the field of arts and culture. There is Not a Number, my company, and then there is the University of Applied Science in Anhalt. They are partners for the tech part in terms of the streaming scenario we are developing. And then we have the 4D Sound company from Amsterdam, and Intono Labs Barcelona. Both are companies which are providing 3D audio engines. And this network is of course the first kickoff, and as network implements also, it's not a closed circle, so we are also very welcome to collaborate with other institutions and partners who might be interested in those topics. So feel free to reach out for that. And for now, this is a European funded project. That's why it's also called Spatial Audio Network Europe. But of course, we are also very much interested in a worldwide exchange here and network approach. So feel free to reach out for that. Another second important point for this network activities in this and next year is of course a artistic creation program, where we just closed an open call last week for artists. So we will produce 8 shows within the next 2 years, and then make those shows tour through the different venues of the partners, to also test everything which was developed in real life conditions. Okay, then the Not a Number studio is where I am sitting at the moment. Actually, it's my studio for 3D audio production, and here, as I already mentioned, I mostly work in the field of arts, so for installations, for video works, multi-screen projection works, and medium scale, big scale museum installations, which where we also do the technical planning for speaker layouts and the mixing and recording, so the full program basically. And with Not a Number studio, I came at one point to the idea, okay, I want to develop a software which combines all the workarounds which I have developed over the last 10-15 years, and bring it together into one piece of software which everybody can use. Because also myself, I'm not a programmer, and I like tools out of the box which give me a greater potential to work creatively. And as in spatial audio applications, it was often like needed to develop some little workarounds to really use it for live context and so on. And so this idea came up, put all of them together in a one tool and make it in an industry standard. So Grapes is available as a standalone software and a VST plugin. And you can actually download the demo on this website, but which is only valid for 1 or 2 more days at the moment. But no worries, there will be a free trial coming up, hopefully later this day or tomorrow, and this will also be available on this website then. Yeah, so now I'm gonna switch to the software itself and give you an introduction into the tool. And therefore, I open Reaper. Let me close this project. Can you see? Yeah, I think it can be seen. Okay, so Grapes, as I said already, is like on the one hand standalone software or also available as VST plugin. And this was for me an important decision because in different workflows I wanted either in my digital audio workstation integrated or maybe I wanted as a standalone software. And as I'm for now or at the moment I'm mostly working in Reaper. That's why this little demo session here is in Reaper as well, and I have actually Grapes is opened here in the VST.
Felix, so sorry, your audio is breaking so hard. I cannot understand very well. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Share the screen? Yeah, maybe the bandwidth.
Maybe if you stop your camera view and share just the screen.
No, okay. Sorry, this is okay, very sorry for that. Now it should be clear again, right?
Much better, much better.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. This is some issue with Reaper when using the same sound card as the conference tool. But yeah, so yeah, basically I have set up Grapes here in Reaper and as a VST plugin, and I just want to go through all the sections of Grapes with you now. So Grapes is divided basically in 3 sections. We have the clip section here, we have the parameter and edit section down here, where we can open different browsers and settings, and we have the canvas here on the right side. And let me delete those clips. And up here we have like our main transports and settings bar. So if I go here and I create one clip, and I can select from a preset list of trajectories basically, and then I can create this circle and the clip will appear, and the circle will appear here on the canvas, and down here all my settings for this clip appear. And on the clip I have this sound object which can be moved along by playing the clip on the selected trajectory, in this case the circle. So this is the very basic functionality of Grapes. I can create clips with certain trajectories, assign them to a sound object, and send the whole thing via OSC to any 3D audio engine. So Grapes is not doing any audio processing. Grapes is just simply a tool for choreographing your sound objects in object-based spatial audio scenarios. And to do this, I of course need to say, okay, where is this position information going to? And for this, I need to set up a OSC connection in the OSC browser. And I can go here and choose from a built-in preset. Like, for example, at the moment we have implemented for IEM multi-encoder, panoramic SPAT-GRE, DNB soundscapes, Auralite, the ADM standard, which can also control the ELIZA acoustics from L-Acoustic ELIZA, Spatial Audio Designer or Amadeus Acoustics. And yeah, there's a couple of more to come very soon in this list, like Fletcher Machine, for example, from Adamson, and also from Pan Acoustics, the 3D audio engine. I will show you this with the IEM multi-encoder for now. So if I choose this preset. Here I have my OST connection where I always need my IP address and the port number to set up. And then I have those commands here already set up for the IEM multi-encoder in this case. And now if I open the IEM multi-encoder, it's not in this set yet, but if I open it here, don't know if all of you are familiar with this tool, but this is the IEM ambisonics multi-encoder, yeah, part of the plugin suite for ambisonics spatialization developed by the IEM in Graz. And so here I can establish my OSC connection, open this, and then I have my connection set up. So Grapes is sending now the positioning data to the 3D audio engine, which is in this case the multi-encoder. Then, yeah, I will just close this because we don't need to see it, but the connection is established and everything I will send over there. In the OSC connections, we can also add another preset. So basically I could send it to another 3D audio engine at the same time, which maybe in some scenarios will be interesting in some use cases. Or I can also set up a custom OSC connection and send it to whatever OSC receiver I want. So basically I can, for example, send the positioning data to my 3D audio engine and at the same time to a visual setup and to, for example, hand over the positioning data to Touch Designer or any visual software which might be in use for the show. So I will delete those two and we are remaining with the multi-encoder preset here, but I just wanted to mention you can send this to multiple receivers, your positioning data. Yeah, so then we have created this clip here on our track number 1 and we have pressed play, so it is running in the circle, and down here I have all my settings for this circle. So here I can control the speed, I can scale it, and I can say that it goes always forward or it should be alternating, so it goes back and forth and so on. So I have all my settings here. I can also change the position of this circle here, or I can just drag and drop it over here and also, yeah, quickly edit it on the canvas actually. And what we always have a top view on the room, as in most of the or in many 3D audio engines. So I always have a top view on a sphere. In this case, I have a round room, so I'm considering a sphere from a half sphere from top, which means that when I'm here in the middle with my sound object, I'm in the zenith, and if I go out on the outer radius, I will be in my lowest altitude of speakers. And yeah, basically I can create here any kind of shape, simple geometrical shapes, or I can also draw my own paths here and play it back then. And then also for this path down here, now I have my settings like the speed, or I can scale it, rotate it, and so on and so forth. And as I said already, this can be considered as a track. So if I go into the track header, I come to the settings of assigning the sound objects here. So I can assign each of these tracks to one or multiple sound objects. which gives me the opportunity to create groups. So if I have, for example, a stereo input and I want to use object 1 and 2 in a way as two separated channels, then I can send, then I can create a group and use object 1 and 2. And on track number 2, then I don't want the object 2 as well, but I maybe want the 4 to 8 for any kind of multi-channel input. And I can, for example, do a swarm movement to create this kind of generative swarm movement with a lot of settings and parameters down here. So, and now I already have like I have already like 8 sound objects moving somehow as I want it. And yeah, like this, I can create all kind of scenes. If I, for example, go here now, this goes to number 9, then I have number 9 going in on this line here, and I have maybe something going in a spiral from top to down, and then I have the whole scene, and I can just stop it or trigger the full scene with my row plays here on the right side. So like this, I can prepare all kind of choreographies of my sound objects and then play them back at one time and fire them. Or I can, of course, also get this play here as an input from another show operating software to be triggered along with other show controls. And yeah, the clip grid is not limited to 8, so we have a mini map here where we can navigate through the clip grid, or we can use the arrows here to go up and down. And yeah, I think that's mainly it for the clip section and all the possibilities of the trajectories. But like this, you can see you can very easily create scenes. Of course, you can also, the drag object, I didn't mention yet, but the drag object is just drag and drop. So you can, of course, also make a fixed position to a sound source or an object and give it a static position. And you can also make some follow movement, for example, so that one object is following another one. And then you can also mirror it. Maybe I can demonstrate this quickly with a line here. Let's stop all the others. Down here, I have some view settings. So like this, I only see those two here. Let me have this one here. So now I'm looking at this line number 6 and with object number 6, and I want the object 7 to follow this. So I put a follow object on the number 7. I choose as a leader source the number 6, and I play it, and we see the number 7 is now exactly on top of number 6. And then I can, for example, say, okay, I want to flip this, and then it goes flip X axis, and then it's like this. And like in this way, we can create like synchronous movements of sound objects very quickly. And yeah, so basically I would say, yeah, this is enough for now for all those different trajectory presets we have here. So we can go from draw to all kind of presets, from random and swarm, which are more generic, to like classical geometric forms, or just a fixed position with a drag object. And yeah, so then we have a few more settings here. Down here we have the listener area, which I just switched on before, because this always indicates me where where's the borders of my room, when am I on the edge of the room, where am I down, where am I up on my setup. And then I also have the listener settings, which makes me move the whole listener scene, the whole listener area. And this is also very interesting to use, I think, in many cases. If you want to rotate, for example, the whole scene by once, you can just simply rotate the listener instead of rotating all the objects at the same time. So this is also another layer of how to interact and how to move the sound objects and use it in space. And then this is some view options here. I'm anyway in this solo view mode here, but as you see, it might get very messy soon. And to avoid this, we have, for example, this minimal view where we always only display the sound objects which are playing and the trajectory, which is where the settings are open, from the clip trajectory from which the settings are open. So this is a view, and now we see all of them again. And when we hover over, they highlight here. Then here we have a zoom to zoom in and out of our scene for the view. And if we getting lost here, we can just center it back here in the view. Then some of those functions from up here. First of all, we have like the master speed here, which we can controls the speed of all objects, and it can go to minus and plus, so we can go backward and forward. Yeah, this is a very important feature for me always to control my whole scene. And we can also quantize this speed, so it is synchronized with the BPM source we are having in, which makes it very much for using it rhythmically with in a bar and beat structure. And when talking of the quantization and the input, so as a VST plugin, we can get the input from our digital audio workstation. So if I choose a sync mode DAW, I'm getting my time and play from the DAW. So now, since Reaper is not playing, I'm not getting anything in. But now when I play Reaper, also Grapes will start playing. And when I stop this, it will also stop it. And we are also working on an Ableton sync mode to really directly connect Ableton clips with movement clips in Grapes, because in Ableton, you know, there's also this clip grid. So of course this will be very nice for live also to directly connect these two. It's already possible because we can receive OSC inputs here for all these play, pause and stop commands, but we want to make it in a more easy way as a setup, which you just have to choose here, and then you have to choose a certain control surface in Ableton, and then all of those commands can be either controlled from here or from Ableton. Then we go back to non-sync mode, which is the free mode. So I have my BPM settings here, and I can I can set my speed here with the BPMs, and you can see that it gets much slower if I'm getting slower here as well. When quantized. When not, then we just have the free speed mode. Then we're having this feature, which is, let me stop it. So we're only looking at the two blue objects, number 1 and 2, which are going in this drawn trajectory here. And then we have also a triangular trajectory for these two objects. And if I press play on one or the other, you see that the objects are jumping to the other position. And of course, this is also an horrible thing. And I want to have a fade between those two movements. And I can set this here either in the global fade settings. So now you see it goes smoothly, the objects move smoothly over to the triangular shape, or now they go smoothly back to the other shape, and I can set a certain amount of how long should this fade take, and how smooth should it be. And this fade, I also have it in each clip, so I can also set an individual clip fade in for each of the clips, as well as the speed can also be quantized for each of the clips or be non-quantized. Then, okay, this is very clear. Play, pause, stop, everything. Yeah, if I play and nothing is on here, of course I have to start a clip that something plays. I can start another clip, then 2 clips are playing now. And then I can also go on resume here. If I press play now here, all the line will start from the beginning again. If I add another clip here, which is not playing yet, I want to add it playing while the others are playing, I can use this play function here, and it will simply trigger all the clips in the line which are not yet playing. Then I want to show you quickly the parameter mappings and the MIDI device settings, and then I think we are also through, and we can... I also want to show you how to record automations in your timeline, and I think then we will have a bit of time for some questions if there are. So the parameter mappings is the parameter mapping browser is there, so I can map my parameters to a MIDI controller or to a audio controller. And audio controller is all the parameters we have available in our digital audio workstation to write automations for, while MIDI, of course, we can then assign a MIDI controller to it. And since we have so many different parameters, like if we fill up all this clip, all this grid, it's thousands of parameters we might have available for mapping. So we choose this way that we don't provide them all by default, but you have to add them here customly. And for example, I want to control the speed of this triangle and the general scale of this triangle, and then I can just add them to the list and then assign them to a source, which is either a MIDI CC node, or it can be the audio parameter. And this is our general purpose parameters, which we have 128 available at the moment. And if I assign the transform, the scale of this triangle to my GP1, and I go then to Reaper, and I'm here in ledge mode. Let me go to read. And now I see grapes. In grapes, you see all the GPs. We have 128 parameters we can use. And after this, there comes the X, Y, and Z of each object, which can also be recorded as a MIDI automation. But now I have assigned like the general scale to GP1, and then I can make a little automation curve on that one, like this. And you see now when I play it back, I have my clip running. Let's have it run on the triangle, and at the same time I can scale by MIDI automation my shape here. Yeah. So this is how you can work with either MIDI controllers. You can then define the range of the parameter and yeah, or delete them again here. And then we're having the MIDI device settings, which are actually there. Yeah, I will just demonstrate it a second. I need to bring the controller closer. But for example, if I want to connect my Launchpad Mini control, then I can do that. And if I go to add devices, now it's comes up here, and then I have it as a MIDI device here, and I can now use it as for parameter mapping. So I can map the MIDI CC nodes of the Launchpad manually through the parameter mappings, or I can use it's the first control surface we have implemented. I can use the control surface for it, and then it is automatically connected to my grapes session for the play commands and so on. So now I can, if I trigger the second scene, yeah, it will only play the second scene, or if I play the first scene, it's only the first scene. And yeah, like this, I can use MIDI controllers in a way that we are used to and control all the parameters and sessions in grapes. Yeah, the last thing I wanted to show you is how to record all the session into your timeline in Reaper, for example, or any other digital audio workstation. And for that, we have the write button down here. So I can activate all the tracks I want to write the automation for. And then I go into my digital audio workstation, and I activate that I'm actually writing automation, and then you can see they all pop up here already. And if I now press play, I'm recording all these automation lines here from the scene which is playing in my horizontal line number 1. And yeah, then it's writing all the automation curves here. And then I switch off all the write clips, and then it's not sending any data anymore. And I can go back to read and write. And as you see, now I have the automation curve here, but still Grapes is playing back the clips, of course, because the clips are still running. So what we have to do is we need to implement a read track for all of them which we want to read the automation for. And now if I go back into the read mode, now they are following our automation curve in the digital audio workstation. So if I play this back now, this is read from the automation and not played live. And why we did this is because like this, you can very quickly change, go back and forward from, having the movement from a clip or from the automation, which gives you a very fast way of interacting and also of writing and rewriting the automations, because we wanted to achieve a workflow here where we will never have to touch again one of those automation curves here, and instead establishing a workflow of, okay, I just go and write the automation or read the automation. and being able to quickly override those curves here. Yeah, so I think I'm coming to the end of the introduction of the software, and I showed you most of the parts, and I'm very much looking forward to your questions.
I do
Thank
have
you,
a question.
Felix.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Sunny.
Yeah, thank you so much. How actually this map is talking to the device outputs? Like, for example, TS100, how can I connect this map to the TS100 output? Do I have to have another map, or is there any connection I missed here?
TS100 is...
Or any
That's
of those?
DNB Soundscape is the DS100.
Okay.
Yeah, any
the
of those.
DS100. Okay, yeah. So you set this up in the OSC settings, and in the OSC settings you can add a preset. And for example, we have here the DNB Soundscapes preset. It's probably gonna be renamed in DS100 soon. So DNB Soundscapes, you just add this here. Let me delete the other one. And like this, you just need to set up the port, which you, I think the receiving port is also a fixed port in the DS100. So basically you give in the port number here, and then you are set up, and everything is sent automatically to the DS100. Or
So
in the DS1, yeah.
Oh, so I'm still little confused because this map, if we draw the map here, is it the same map we can see in another device's map? How we know this triangle is same as the other? I'm a little confused. So sorry.
Yeah, no problem. So if I'm sending this triangle, and the object number 6 is moving along this triangle, I'm simply sending those positioning data of this triangle to the DS100, where also object number 6 will move in this shape. Via OSC here with this preset.
So if I draw a map here, they will draw a map in DS100.
Yes, I'm simply. You will not see the trajectory. You will not see the line of the triangle, but the object number 6 will move exactly in this triangle.
So I have to have a same map and scale on both sides.
Yes, the scaling is actually already kind of fixed. I was actually last week in Paris in the showroom from DNB Soundscapes, and we talked a bit about this. And the scaling can be in some different ways, but basically what we send is like it's absolute values. So it's relative values, yeah? So we are always in the same scaling as on the soundscapes. And if you need to tweak a scaling in general, one option is to go to the listener in Grapes and extend the room size here or make it smaller here to make it fit, yeah? But basically by default, it should be like this. If you're having this round room and you go, let me have a drag object. And if I go here, I should always be in the 0 of the map in the DS100 as well, in the front.
So that space is what we see in another object, another device's map. That's
the space you mean the circle?
Yeah.
Basically, at the moment, we only have the circle displayed here, but this will be a setting very soon that we can have like a squared room or rectangled rooms as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, very welcome. Hope this answered your question. If not, feel free to reach out also.
Thanks so much, Felix. If you use the scale, does that apply to one pathway, or can you apply it to multiple? Like if you're making your whole room larger, can you apply it to multiple or all of the pathways?
You mean to all the trajectories?
Yes, correct.
Exactly. So when I scale the listener, I really scale my room and make it bigger or smaller. But like the circle I draw or the triangle I draw, it will remain the same size. So if I make my room bigger, this triangle will be smaller. If I make my room smaller, this triangle will be bigger. If you know what I'm, if I can say it like this correctly. So the scale of the listener area is really the scale of my room size, while of course, relatively to this, the size of my trajectories will change.
So are there units? Is it like meters or feet or anything, or it's just kind of
there's no units like this, and we are trying to apply this in all of the presets so that it is scaled in a relative way that it fits, right? So for example, if we look at the which preset we had, it's not in yet at the moment, but in some presets you will find something like 0.5 times x, and then yeah, we matched it already so that it fits exactly the receiving party's default scale.
Can you bring out a background or like a ground plan or anything?
Not yet, but already requested quite a few times, so it's on the list.
I'm having flashbacks to Rose Tattoo, Sunny. Sunny and I did a show with Timex years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, this is great. So how do you, I know you cover this, but I kind of missed it. How do you deal with the Z coordinates? Like if you want to move it up and down versus.
Yeah, very, very good question. So at the moment, we only have like a fixed set value, which means that we are always considering a sphere, and I'm always moving on this sphere. But we are working on a 3D visualization at the moment, so we can actually see everything in 3D as well, which will be a pure monitoring view where you have no interactions. But until then, everything is fixed on the Z axis. But very soon you will find a little button here to lock or unlock the Z. And once the Z is unlocked, you can adjust it freely from here. Does this answer your question?
It does, yeah. It's always
Perfect.
a challenge to deal with the 3D. Everybody kind of does it in a different way, but it's good that you're thinking about it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's very important to free the set very soon, and until then we have locked it.
Felix, if you want to make a preset for a different spatializer, like for example for Timex or the spot revolution, is that something you can do yourself, or is it a question of sending in a request to Grapes to?
No, you can. Yeah, you can totally do this yourself. So you can just add a new connection here, and then type in your the commands which are needed for the receiving parties. And yeah, you can always, of course, look at the other presets. But there's also in the no, there's not yet. But in the next manual, we will have a documentation on how the syntax has to be written here. But basically it's very much straightforward. You need to type in the OC commands which your receiving party wants to receive here, and yeah, set up a IP and port, and then you're sending it in this format out.
Thanks. And since it's so easy to swap spatializers, did you use it yet to compare any spatial sound engines like A/B tests or back-to-back?
Yeah.
To hear the
Yeah, we had a master thesis here at the ZIMT, and the person was, the student was comparing IEM, SPAT, GRI, and Panoramics, so the three free available spatializing tools, and it was actually pretty super strong differences. Like same movement, same sound, same speaker layout, different engine. It was dramatically different in what works on which side, better or worse. I took myself part in the listening test, and it was really crazy. I couldn't imagine that it will be so tremendous differences.
Wow.
And so was it the IEM plugin or the ambisonic plugin you showed us? Could you tell us whose plugin that is?
Yeah, this is from the IEM in Graz. I will just share a link also.
Great.
And you can find a full plugin suite here. And basically it was developed like several years ago by Matthias Kronlachner first, and then by Daniel Rudrich. He developed a completely new plugin suite based on the ambisonic algorithms, and it's very powerful because it's a lot of tools. So from omni compressor to multi-channel equalizer to reverb, spatial delay effects. So it's really a great palette of tools. I can only recommend to have a look into it. And of course, with the decoder, you can design all your speaker layouts you want to.
I mean, it sounds to me like it's something you could use when you're creating at home in your studio, if you or even on the airplane or something as you're going to a job site, and then you switch it over to your real venue.
Exactly, yeah. If you don't have like a desktop version of the engine you're using, you can play with the IEM tools. They also have a binaural decoder on it, so you can even do it on the plane and then bring it into your venue, and with Grapes translate all your trajectories easily from what you have used for prototyping in binaural or whatever to whatever other engine you're using in the end. So this is also was one main approach, to have this compatibility kind of between the systems through those OC modules, because I don't want to write my automation only in this one engine, and then it can be played back in this one engine, because like when I'm touring or going to different venues which have different 3D audio engines, I also want to be able to bring my mix and not start from scratch again every time with another tool set, another plug-in, and whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. So what are your long-term plans? I think there's only a beta version available at the moment.
Yeah, and as I said, the beta, which is online now,
eventually.
Yeah, exactly. So we are actually about to open the shop. We are having some it's gonna open anytime in the next week, our shop, with a license model. So we will have a perpetual license model where you pay once and it's going to be a single license or triple license or educational license, and there will be a free trial for 30 days, of course. And yeah, this all will be available very soon, so don't be disappointed if you download today and then it shows it's only valid for 1 day, the beta at the moment. This is simply because our last beta phase lasted for the last 40 days, and today is kind of the last day of it. But we will replace the beta with a free trial, hopefully today, if we manage everything technically, and then you can get your free trial on the website.
Wonderful. Well, I think this is great, and I'm not sure. I expect Jorg has told you about Sound Kitchen that we do. Our next one's going to be in Sharjah 2025, but it's a great place to try out this stuff. So we'd love to invite you to come along and be a part of that.
Perfect.
I mean, the last one I did was in Calgary, and we had SpaceMap Go, Timex, and Soundscape, all three running at the same time, and any performer could choose which one they wanted to use. So I think this kind of takes it to the next level, because this could speak to all three. So I think it's really cool.
Perfect, super. Where's this event going to happen? Maybe you can share.
It's in Sharjah in UAE, which it's near Dubai, and it's almost exactly a year. I think 1 June, I saw you put up there that it's exactly a year from one day last week.
All right, cool.
Yeah. And I will paste in the link that has all if you want more information on things, anybody can just fill out this little survey. I'll put it in the chat here in a second, but we can send you more info on World Stage Design, and Sound Kitchen's the probably most successful thing that we do every time we get together. But
super. Yeah, sounds very interesting. We'll be happy to join there if I have the possibility.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, while I've got the floor, if anybody wants more information about the OISTAT Sound Design Subcommission, we keep a base camp where that's how we send out info. If you want to be on that list, fill out the survey. I'm working on an email list, so we're going to probably switch over to that in the next few months. But thanks, Wanjun, for the WSD info. But yeah, wonderful. And we do these things every few months. We get together online. So if anybody else wants to host one, we'd love for you to do it. I appreciate your taking the time to put this one together for us. We had one last month about microphones, which will be about wireless mic, the lav elements. That will be online in the next week or so, available on the YouTube channel. And we did another one on production intercoms. So this is our third one. So very exciting.
Perfect. Yes.
Open the floor up just for some chat or any more announcements or anything?
Yeah, I think that's it for the official part. So thanks a lot, Felix. It was really super interesting, and it looks like a powerful tool. And yeah, like Brad said, if anybody wants to hang around for chat, please feel free. So the session will stay open. And if you came for
Could we do a group picture? I always like to get everybody to turn their camera on and do a group picture. It's really, it's a lot of fun to have I got to get in the right mode to do a screenshot though. Hang on. Oh yeah, that's better. All right, everybody smile. Oh, people are still coming on. Oh, somebody's driving. Hey, Leo. Hey, Nella. Good to see all these old friends. Thank you, Roger, for staying up for us. All right, here goes. All right, got it. Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Hi, Sally. Hi, Roger.
Long time no see, everyone.
Yeah, Sunny.
Too long.
And it's good to see some new faces too. I'm not sure that I know. Is it Jaap from Netherlands?
Yes, it is. Hello. I'm a colleague
Hello.
of yours.
Great, great. And Arturo, I don't believe I've met you yet, have I? You're from Mexico?
Yes, I'm from Mexico.
Nice, welcome. Glad to have you here.
Hey. Yeah, so if anybody has questions about the tool while checking it out, feel free to give us a message. So there's also a link in the app where you can directly send us a support request or whatever. So, and I'm on it to answer as quickly as possible. We're a small team, 2 people. Daniel Rudrich, who is actually also who I just mentioned, who was the developer of the IEM plugin suite. Also, he's also developing Grapes with me now, but we give our best to answer as soon as possible. But yeah,
I see one question in the chat that we haven't addressed from Roger about ask if you're a member of the World Forum of Acoustic Ecology, which is an organization I'm not familiar with.
no, actually not.
When you
I have-
mentioned early on about location recordings and particularly historical sounds, that's a very, very interesting group.
It sounds amazing. Yeah, I will definitely
yeah.
have a look into it. Thank you
Yeah.
for the hint, for the
No
link.
problem. Yeah.
Felix, thank you for your presentation. Since I work in theater, does Grapes also listen to live 3D info? Can you like link a tracker to it and make objects move in opposite directions from like an actor or a live object?
Yeah, we are having this as one of the next features for the. So you will have a clip possibility, a preset possibility where you can then receive or see inputs defined by yourself. So this is definitely also an important feature we want to have very soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think it's great because there's so many different disciplines that are trying to do this tracking, and if we can all share the data, I think we could get a lot more out of it. I think I went to a Panasonic demo not too long ago where they're tracking people on cameras, which seems really interesting. And of course, Timex has their tracking system, and there's Black Tracks, the people that do the automated polyspots. So if we can all team up, that would be really cool.
Yeah, it's like my brain is just going, oh, and you can do this, oh, and you can do this, oh, and you can do this, which is really great.
Yeah. Cool, super.
One thing I was wondering about with when you create a situation where we can actually kind of overlay the positions of speakers like the real life positions of speakers in a real life room. Will it be possible to, this is probably a really big ask, but to then consider the particular characteristics of the speeches, such as how they radiate and things like that, because that sort of thing can be really handy when you're looking at wanting to get very, very clear trajectories through a room where you have maybe, say, 8 speakers or 30 speakers or who knows how many, so that you can actually see how this thing can compensate for it. You may be able to do it with some kind of positioning of the, what is it, the I can't think of the word at the moment, but the thinness of the ambisonic signal, because we can kind of give it a larger number or a lower number to kind of spread out where the signal, where the sound is in a space.
Yeah. I think these things, because like it's not limited to send the data to ambisonics, but to any kind of engines which is using any kind of algorithm. So I think this is always a question of the setting inside the engine, rather than in Grapes, I would say.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Do you think that in Grapes we would be able to, at some point, to that question, be able to read in speaker positions through OSC and just have sort of markers in Grapes, so that you could see where your speakers were while you were creating motion, and then each organization could sort of publish their speaker map, and you would have a collection of those. I know working in SPAT, they have a similar thing. So you could, if you were going to perform in some other place or you're designing for another place, you could read in their speaker map, see just location of just objects, you know, some kind of marker. That might be a really handy thing.
Yeah, totally. Also noted, it goes in the same direction with loading like a floor plan or loading a speaker layout. So we definitely have this on the list as well.
Yeah, because then if it was just general, you could also put in markers for like, here's a doorway, or, you know, if you're doing something for a theater set, you might have markers that indicate certain locations on the set.
Yeah, which will make it much more easy to place your sound object directly there, actually.
Yeah, like spot sounds and so on.
Yeah, and I wanted to say thank you, by the way. The sun is just coming up here, and I'm in my pajamas, so I don't have my screen turned on. But
no worries. Really... Thanks for joining in that early then.
But this is really great.
What's your specialty, Ken? I'm not sure that we've met before either.
Yeah, hi. No, I'm new to this group. I used to work for, if you knew, there was a company, they're still around, called Spatial. You know, very generic kind of name, making software. So I was the head of the creative group there, and we were doing a lot of software design for that. And now I'm doing it independently. And I actually signed up for the beta, and Felix, I wanted to apologize. I haven't been able to do anything with the beta because I've been busy writing a lot of my own tools to do exactly what you're doing here for different projects. So I'm actually trying to start up a small, you know, I'm making like some small to mid-sized portable immersive audio systems for science communication and say maybe like smaller educational venues and things like that. I'm actually working on trying to do I have a 16-channel wireless system right now, which I'm testing. So anyway, I'm looking at exactly the things that you're addressing. So if anyone is interested in anything like that, it's extremely small scale at the moment, like, you know, 16 speakers and things like that. But it is wireless and portable and reconfigured.
Yeah, sounds super interesting.
Yeah, and you just need power. You just need power to the speakers, and you can put them anywhere. So
yeah. I was just going to say, Ken, if you could just share your email address, that would be really, really, really handy.
Sure, absolutely.
Thank you.
We got to go back to class, so I say bye to everyone. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks for joining us, Sunny. Take care.
Thank you for joining.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I have to disappear. I'm off to I've got to go to the post office before 4 o'clock. Good to see you, and thanks for the demo. It's all very impressive. I'm impressed, but I have to go. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
So when are the first concerts planned for the Spatial Audio Network?
First concerts will be in end of 25, or starting from mid of 25 August something. The exact dates are not yet set, but first half of the year we will have the residencies and the productions in 25, and then we will go into the live shows, and then also with this live shows testing the streaming scenario from one venue to another.
And then you're streaming both the audio and all the OSC for the...
Yes, so we are actually also working on a OSC streamer streaming thing and implemented in the platform. So that we have kind of all kind of possibilities. So we want to be able to just send multi-channel, which is already decoded for the specific speaker layout of the room, or we send just only like let's say stamps for all the objects, and then the OSC data along with it. Yeah, so this gives us kind of all the possibilities. What we send over to the other venue.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
For everyone, we're not necessarily supposed to do, but we're allowed to do a in-person meeting as the subcommission every year. And next year will be in Sharjah at World Stage Design. But for 2026, I would love to see if we could all get together somewhere. So I don't know if your studio's available for something like that, but something like that, or somewhere in Berlin or somewhere. If
Yeah,
anybody has
definitely.
ideas, please let's start the conversations. I was thinking about doing it at USIDT, but I don't know if that's going to happen. So,
Yeah, would be super
cool
interested.
if we planned the only one I remember us doing is in London. We did a colloquium at the Central School of Speech and Drama, but that was back in 2002. So
okay,
it'd be cool to get us all
sometime
together again somewhere.
would be cool. Yeah.
Does the Spatial Audio Network have meetings? Have any kind of regular get-togethers or meetings?
No, not yet, because we are actually at the moment focusing on the consortium of these partners, of the 7-8 partners we have on board now. But we are, of course, already in the discussion on how we can open this and what can be the benefits for the others, and how can we, or how and who can handle all the organization of it. But I hope that until end of this year or beginning of next year, I think we will kind of have a solution for opening everything up and then onboard other partners.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, this whole thing is just a great idea, and being able to stream OSC and sound between places, and then everyone can create additional programming based around that. I mean, it's really, really helpful, I think. So thank you for this. It's great.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback.
You're muted, Roger, if you're talking to us.
Roger,
your mic
you're
is
muted.
It sounds like you're saying something very important. Maybe he's talking to someone else.
No, I was just saying I'm going to head off, but thanks so much. And I'm thinking of so many ideas at the moment.
Super.
Yeah. I remember that first thing in Prague when I met you, Brad, where I did that spatial audio thing, and I had to get a map. I tried to map all these movements from one place back to where we were performing, and just that was so unbelievably painstaking to try and what's the street doing for this particular position at the moment. But you would have
Things have
saved
come a long way,
many hours of going, oh my God, why am I doing this?
Yeah. I mean, I'll have to say, Roger, that you were an early adopter of the spatial portion that we made available in Sound Kitchen, and you made really good use of it at every time that I've seen you perform. So I can't wait to hear your whatever you've done for Sharjah. I just got a list. We've got 34 entries so far, and I got to start listening through them all.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
Thank you. Thanks for being here today.
Jorg and I put something in, so yeah.
Oh right, yeah, I saw them together. I was just like, wait a minute, who is Jorg Alsop?
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, it's a combination. That's great. I think that's wonderful. And that's another reason we do these things is to to bring people together. I was really glad to see, I think it was Dan, he's not on here anymore, but he's from Pan Lab, which was acquired by Timex. So they're getting together on things. So hopefully this will encourage more people to, to standardize and get the bits and bytes flowing together.
Yeah.
It makes me think of like the early DMX for lighting, moving lights and trying to make it all mesh together and send the data between different manufacturers. It's cool that we're kind of going in that direction now. So it'd be amazing.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah.
I have to go too. Thank you very much for the presentation, and see you around.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
you're
much.
very welcome. See you around.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
See
All
you
right,
around.
I'm going to go too. Thank you.
Catch up
I'll look,
soon.
All right, well,
I'll look for the
Catch up
licensing
soon,
page.
LA, wherever you are.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for being here.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you guys. See you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Thank you, Felix. Bye bye.
Thank you for being here.
Bye-bye.